Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale was ruthlessly jettisoned by Mikel Arteta for David Raya, despite the Gunners' boss comments to the contrary, and that decision has been fully justified in the past week. WhoScored takes a look at how things have played out. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was full of praise for his players after they overcame FC Porto on penalties to reach the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time in 14 years. Gawang PATAH has summarized for you. David Raya, Mikel Arteta, and the 4 days that proved Arsenal boss' ruthless move was right. Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale was ruthlessly jettisoned by Mikel Arteta for David Raya, despite the Gunners' boss comments to the contrary, and that decision has been fully justified in the past week. WhoScored takes a look at how things have played out. Errors are part of football. It's how you react to it, especially for the keepers, which is probably the most difficult position. He did so in an amazing way. Mikel Arteta was full of praise for Aaron Ramsdale in the wake of Arsenal's 2-1 win over Brentford on Saturday evening. In an evening of mixed emotions for the Gunners' shot-stopper, it was relief when referee Rob Jones blew for full time against the Bees after Ramsdale was bundled out by Kai Havertz in the 86th minute. To his credit, Ramsdale recovered well to make 2 smart stops to deny Ivan Toney and Nathan Collins before Havertz's 8th league goal of the campaign secured a huge 3 points for Arteta's men. It was, after all, Ramsdale's mistake that allowed Yoane Wissa to equalize for Thomas Frank's side on the stroke of half-time. On a rare start for the 25-year-old, many are of the impression that the Arsenal man flunked his final chance to reclaim the number 1 spot at the Emirates. Deputizing for the ineligible David Raya, unable to face his parent club, Ramsdale returned a WhoScored rating of 6.00 in the narrow victory over the weekend. Injuries or suspensions permitting, that is likely to be Ramsdale's final appearance in an Arsenal shirt this season. That's not to say the latter has done anything wrong during his time at the club. In fact, when it was clear Arsenal were set to sign Raya last summer, it was a decision that raised eyebrows. Granted, the North London side fell at the final hurdle in their Premier League title pursuit last season, but that wasn't solely down to Ramsdale, who kept 14 clean sheets last term. Only David De Gea, 17, kept more. Nevertheless, the reasoning behind signing a goalkeeper of Raya's caliber was that Arteta wanted a ball-playing goalkeeper of the Spaniard's stature to help dominate opponents. Raya has established himself as one of the best goalkeepers in England with the ball at his feet, with his distribution maximized by Brentford last season and now Arsenal. For an Arsenal side that do look to dominate proceedings, a 61.9% possession average ranks 3rd in the Premier League, they need a goalkeeper who can pick out a teammate with relative ease. Raya fits the bill nicely, and does so to a better extent than Ramsdale, even if that difference is marginal. The Spaniard's long ball pass success rate of 32.4% is better than Ramsdale, 29.5%, while the former has the higher overall pass success rate, 71.8% from 27.4 passes per game. Compared to the latter, 65.2% from 26.3 passes per game. Admittedly, Raya endured a testing start to life at Arsenal. The low point came in the late 4-3 win at Luton in early December, where he committed 2 errors leading to a goal and returned a WhoScored rating of just 4.07, that the lowest in a Premier League match this season. Yet 2024 has not only brought a return to form for Arsenal, but has seen Raya return to his best. Indeed, a save success rate of 83.3% this calendar year is better than any other goalkeeper in England's top tier, while Raya has kept more clean sheets, 9, than any other shot-stopper in the division. With an improvement in delivery from the player between the sticks, this also provides Arsenal with a better chance of playing the ball out from the back, as the centre-backs can feel confident about pulling wide to open up the pitch for Raya to pick his pass. It's no wonder that the team has seen a rise in possession from last season to this. There are other mitigating factors involved, of course, with the signing of Declan Rice proving instrumental in their push for silverware, but Raya's arrival effectively allows Arsenal to play with an 11th outfielder. And, as he showed with his heroics against Porto on Tuesday night in the Champions League, he's a fine shot-stopper too. Both penalty saves were outstanding in the shootout triumph, while he perhaps should have reached a 3rd too. There was also a smart stop to deny Ivan Nilsson in the first half, when he could easily have been left unsighted had his footwork not been up to scratch. While Arteta may have come under criticism for the way Ramsdale was ruthlessly cut from the starting 11, the Gunners' boss has been completely justified by his decision to make Raya first choice at the Emirates. The events of the last few days have just added further clarification of the fact. Mikel Arteta makes it clear who's to thank for Arsenal's dramatic shootout win over Porto. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was full of praise for his players after they overcame FC Porto on penalties to reach the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time in 14 years. Mikel Arteta lauded David Raya and his goalkeeper coaches after the Arsenal shotstopper excelled in a dramatic penalty shootout to send his team through to the Champions League quarterfinals at FC Porto's expense. The Gunners headed into the match needing to overturn a 1-0 deficit from the first leg and leveled the tie-up on aggregate through Leandro Trossard on the stroke of halftime. The two sides couldn't be separated after the break and penalties were required to decide who would advance. Raya was the Arsenal hero, saving 2 spot kicks in the shootout to book a quarter-final spot. The Gunners' 4-2 win on penalties means they have reached the competition's final 8 for the first time in 14 years. Reacting post-match, Arteta told TNT Sports, "So happy. It has been 14 years, which is a long time for a club like Arsenal, and it shows how difficult it was. We really had to dig in to find the magic moment at the end. We're starting to create an unbelievable energy in the stadium. We were all pushing to get it done, and together we have done it. You're very nervous, watching a penalty shootout, hoping for the best, but you know it's a bit of a lottery. We had prepared the day before, so credit to the goalkeeping coaches and everyone that has contributed. It's really difficult to play against Porto. They're really competitive. We didn't get many moments where we could control the game. They're a really good side. We scored a goal in a really important moment. We tried to create chances, and in the end we managed to do it. There's a lot at stake, and every detail is important. You're defending your team on every decision, and it's part of the game. Arsenal will now face one of Europe's elite in the next phase of the competition for a bid to reach the Final Four. The Gunners have never won the competition, but did reach the final in 2006 against Barcelona. Arteta's men came into Tuesday night's fixture at the top of the Premier League. They will juggle their European exploits over the coming weeks with their bid to end a domestic title drought which now spans 2 decades. When he was quizzed about the quality of the remaining teams in the competition, Arteta insisted that he and his squad were relishing the challenge, stressing that they wanted to be challenging the elite for major honors. He added, "Unbelievable, that's where we want to be. We've been patient, worked so hard, and a lot of people have made good decisions and showed courage in difficult moments, and this is where you want to be."